Hello, today we are looking at the energy adventures of Tommy and Remi, Geothermal Energy. This is the landing page for the game we have created for future energy systems. We have a nice custom cursor, we can play the game and we can view the credits. Clicking on the music icon here, we can adjust the music volume, as well as the effects volume. Those are things like clicking and various button effects we have later in the game. Clicking on play, we see we can navigate back, we can skip, or we can navigate next, and we are presented with a screen that gives us a description of the characters we will be navigating this game with. For now, let's continue forward. Here, we are tasked with picking a character. We can pick Remi, or we can pick Tommy. For now, let's go with Tommy. Starting the game, we're presented with our first challenge. This challenge gives us information about geothermal energy, and then will give us with a quiz. At any point, we can go back to the previous scene, we can skip a current challenge, or we can go next to the next scene. Here, we're given some additional information, and then, as I said earlier, we're presented with a quiz. Clicking on a wrong answer will inform the user and provide a slight noise. We can close that, and we can see we can no longer click on that item again. At this point, we could skip the game if we wanted to, but let's continue and choose the final answer, which is right. As you can see, that told us that we did a good job, and we're shown a progress bar, which is animated. That progress is also reflected at the top right in our persistent progress bar. Now, let's continue on through the second quiz challenge. We gain some additional information, and then we're presented with the quiz. If we want to answer the quiz question, but we don't have all the information, we can, of course, go back and gain it. Here, let's just skip the quiz instead of trying to answer the questions. As you see, we still gain the progress because we're still making progress in this journey. Here, we can skip the challenge directly from this page in case we already know all of the information. There's one more challenge which we are also going to skip because it follows the same format as the previous ones. Now we meet the second portion of the game, which is the tile game. We're given some initial information on how the tile game will function and what our goals are when playing. Here we are with the level select screen. We see that the first level is unlocked. This is the tile-based geothermal game, so we have to get the water from the injection point to the production plant. We're looking for a path that is not too short, because then our water won't heat up enough, and we also need a path that's not too long, because otherwise we will lose the water. We need somewhere in between. As you can see, if I click to the end, our score constantly increases and our water flows towards our target. We can click to the end, but we didn't quite get the optimal path. So let's try it again. If, for say, I get stuck, then I'll also be prompted to try again. Let's view the optimal path and see what it is. As you can see, it's highlighted in green to showcase that it's not us that got it, it was the game that's showcasing us an optimal path. We also can't click the button again. Let's restart. And let's click through that ourselves. Awesome, we got the optimal score. As you can see, we got a check mark and the level turned green because we completed it. Let's say we skip the second level. Progress bar continues to increase, but the level is still marked as not fully completed even though it's unlocked. We do still make progress though. As you can see, level 3 is much bigger, and this time we can actually run out of water. So let's do that. As you can see, our score continuously increases until we've reached the threshold, and then it begins to decrease. If it gets too low, we'll be prompted to try again. Let's view the optimal path. There it is, and now let's skip. The final level is a bit more unique because it is procedurally generated. Additionally, each of the characters you pick at the start of the game will have a special ability that you can use. As you can see, here is the initial path. You think it's nice and simple, it's not quite. Let's view the optimal path. That's what it looks like, and this one has a score of 4.5. This procedural level is generated on the fly with both the injection point and production point are completely randomized, as well as all the barriers. Let's use the ability that Tommy has. He can break through barriers with his paws and allow them to flow through different locations. This means that all of the barriers in the level will be rearranged. So let's use it now, and as you can see, they're all rearranged. In this case, the path was able to stay the same, but the path may have needed to be changed if the barrier was moved to block it. Moving forward, let's see the level one more time. And as you can see, it's in a completely different configuration. Now we can go next because this button is now become active. Congratulations, we've learned some more information. Finally, we're presented with one final challenge, which tests our skills and everything that we've learned up until this point. Fantastic. Now we see that Tommy has completed his journey and we're now an energy explorer. This page showcases some story times and some additional learning resources, which we can click on to view. Finally, we're presented with the credits of the game, which credits all of the wonderful people who worked on it. But the fun hasn't quite stopped. If we play the game again and we skip ahead, we can this time see that there's a new button that's appeared, the tile game. So this time, if we choose Remi, and we can jump straight to the tile game and test out their ability. So in this case, the ability will change the location of the injection and production points, but not change the location of the current barricades. So let's move them. There you go. And the optimal path will also be updated accordingly. And that is all of the content that's in the front end facing game. For the back end side of the project, we have a GitHub fork for the client where they can edit any of the different tile games or the information that's shown on the information pages and the quizzes. Going to the game levels, we see we have a complete guide step by step of how to update this. Basically what you go in is you go into any of these links, you can edit that map file, and you can also edit the solution file and what that's supposed to look like. There is verification in place to ensure that this is correct. We can also go back to the information and quizzes section. This showcases us how to edit all of the different information we see. So we can just click on the page and there's the text. If we edit it, it will automatically be reflected in the game in around 30 minutes once it's redeployed. Scrolling down a bit further, we do have one of these for every single page in the game. We see we can change the question, the options, and the correct answer. So let's open those up. So here we go, this question right here. There's the question, there's answer A, and we can also say maybe we don't want it A, maybe we want it to be something else. That's all the main functionality we have on the back end side, and that's all we have to show for the Future Energy Systems project. Thanks so much for checking us out.